What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon White. In the last episode, we did battle with both Bianca and Charon after leaving Castelia City. I also got a call from Professor Juniper to go meet her at the gate on the way to Nimbasa, but that is not going to be happening in this episode because we still have a lot more exploring to do here in Route 4 and beyond. So let's continue up this way. We pretty much fought every single one of the trainers off to the west side of the route. Now we're going to be fighting a bunch more as we make our way out of here, starting with this backpacker here, and I'm definitely going to be popping another repel before I go any further. I did also heal between episodes, so everybody should be all topped off going into this section, but we're going to actually be making our way northwest out of this route because there is another connecting area that we're going to be learning a little bit more about as we head over that way. Trainers will make mention it and stuff, and actually, I don't know if this guy did. I didn't really pay attention to his dialogue. He may have, but that is going to be our focus in this one. And a facade, interesting. That is actually a really good move. It's a lot better if the Pokemon is paralyzed or poisoned, or has the burn effect on them, which obviously Darumaka cannot. But either way, actually a really, really good move, and I would not mind teaching it in the place of something like Tackle, for instance, because even at its base power, it's like 70, which is still better than Tackle. So let's do that. Put the dowsing machine back on. And let's battle this lady here. Let's see. Our travel partner is Pokemon that a popular guidebook recommended. Popular guidebook, huh? Well, I wonder what the guidebook said. For a traveling partner? Let's see what it is. Cottony. Interesting. Why? What about that Pokemon is good for backpacking with? I can see like a water type, to keep you hydrated and, keep you cooled off when you're going through the sun in the desert and whatnot, but I can't understand why a Cottony would be the choice for that, to be honest. Seems a little bit silly, but let's just continue to tack our way through this thing. We're probably going to take... Oh, we got another critical hit. I keep getting lucky with those. I will take it. And down you go. The guidebook does not tell me how to win. I love that little rebuttal there. Let me grab this item. We got ourselves an ether. We're kind of stockpiling those. Those are going to come in handy a little bit later on as we go through further places. Still a couple more backpackers to get through, as well as another item to grab. And yeah, we're almost there. Once we reach road again, that's when we know we're heading in the right direction. So Petalil, all y'all are throwing unconventional Pokemon at me over here, which I appreciate that, but gosh dang it. I really don't want to be using Marty in this scenario, so I'm just having to rely on Tackle to get the job done, which is a little unfortunate. Not Mega Drain. Please not Mega Drain. Even though it only heals a little bit, it's still enough to be a nuisance. Might be able to take this Petalil out even without the need for a critical hit. And down it goes. All right. Almost level 28 for Arthur. He is just a freaking tank. Look at that health and the wonders that it's doing. Also, there appears to be an item up that way. Let's talk to this guy. Hello, sir. The fun of traveling on the world is having serious battles with a lot of Pokemon I meet. I'm going to talk to that lady up there as we continue up. I think this is the last backpacker we're going to have to fight, and this is Waylon, and he's got a Blitzel. Hey, small world. Do you also have incredibly awful defenses? Because I would like to actually make use of that. I'm going to start off with a Mega Drain here, just to get some health back. The less healing items I have to use, the better. And however much damage we do is beneficial to me. That is a lot of damage. Okay, yeah, definitely going to be relying on that. The Shockwave shouldn't do too much. It on top of the Sandstorm is going to be a little annoying, but whatever. 7 HP total. I'll just Mega Drain you for the rest. What are you going to give me, like 2 HP for this? That HP is HP. Oh, 4. Wow, I was only 50% correct. Down you go. All right, so now let's go grab this item here, which is in this corner as it seems. And it is a Hyper Potion. Definitely going to take that. More healing items if needed. Look at the freeway. I feel exhilarated. I'm actually going to be going left of you, though. And let's talk to this guy, who is another trainer. So he's probably going to be back to using ground types and whatnot. No, or sorry, fighting types. The likes of Timber and whatnot. Pardon me. Roggenrola. All right. This is, again, an opportunity for me to use things like Mega Drain to get all the health back. Actually, what I'm going to do here is this. Tackle first. I have a plan. Then Roggenrola uses Headbutt. I knew it was going to do a little bit of a damage. And now we should be able to fully heal ourselves off this Mega Drain. Sometimes you just do it in the reverse order because you know Sturdy is coming. And boom, there you go. Should be able to actually knock it out with the move. Almost fully healed. We were 3 HP short, but still pretty close. Arthur wants to learn the move Slam. Okay, let's talk about a move that I absolutely cannot stand, and that is this one. This thing has a base power of 80. Now, this was a little bit more attractive back in earlier generations when Tackle only had a base power of 35. The accuracy is terrible, but at least, you know, it hits a lot harder. Now it's almost impossible to justify. For only a 30 extra base power and being a only 3/4 chance of hitting, I can't stand this move. I would much rather have the other Slam, you know, the one that uses the body. What is it called? Oh, yeah, Body Slam. Because that has the same amount of base power in 80, but it has a 100% accuracy, and it also has a chance of causing paralysis. So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Arthur can learn Body Slam, which sucks. Slam is more for Pokemon that are very tail-centric, as Servine and Snivy are. But, yeah, I am definitely not going to be teaching that move to Arthur. So we continue to rely on Tackle for our normal type damage. Battles like a construction project, they're both piece of cakes for me. And look, there's a vending machine out here in the desert. Very, very strange. Oh, vending machine of the wastes, what is your wisdom? Probably just that I need to buy more lemonades or something like that. All right, let's Leaf Tornado this Timber out of existence, and then we can just proceed. I believe the old lady up there is not a trainer, so we should be able to just go right past her, no problem. I think there's one more trainers that we have to deal with in this area before we make it to the next one. Hello, Moonsberry in the desert. It's like a grand adventure in a story. Well, that sounds interesting to me. Are we going to be dealing with that here soon? Possibly. And as we get into this area known as the Desert Resort, I will talk about the new Pokemon that can actually be gotten in this area, but first, we're going to go on through here. Let me make sure my dowsing machine's up, and we are going to take on a pair of trainers right here. Oh, wait, you're actually not trainers. I thought you were. Well, I guess we're good then. Is there no items over here? There is not. Well, let's head on through the gate then, and then we can talk about the Pokemon that can be gotten in this area. There is, in fact, 3 more new Pokemon to get here. Dwebble, Maractus, and Sigilyph. Dwebble is a rock and bug type Pokemon that evolves into Crustle at level 34. This is a fairly one-dimensional Pokemon whose specialty is a high defense stat, an alright attack stat, and mediocre to bad everywhere else. It does learn a lot of awesome moves upon leveling up, such as Rock Polish to negate its terrible speed, as well as Bug Bite, Rock Slide, and eventually X-Scissor, and Rock Wrecker, which really rounded out for what it's supposed to be. What it's supposed to be just really isn't all that impressive. We've already come across better bug types in the game up to this point, and its typing leaves a lot to be desired, as Bug is just okay on its own, and Rock is good, but nothing super great in this generation. Maractus is a Grass-type Pokemon that is incapable of evolving, which is often a red flag right off the bat if you know the history of unevolved Pokemon. They all kind of tend to just be a middle ground, being better than most unevolved Pokemon, but not near as good as the fully evolved ones either. Now, to Maractus' credit, it does have some okay stats, its special attack stat being the most impressive, and its defenses and HP being pretty balanced in the below average area. Yeah, okay, maybe it's not so great at all. On top of that, being grass type only means it's weak to 5 different types, and its moves do not do enough to improve its standing. The fact that Lilligant exists at all should be more than enough to dissuade you from adding one of these onto your team, as it does pretty much everything Maractus is capable of, but just a lot better. You can try to make this Pokemon work on your team if you like the way it looks, but it's likely going to be far more trouble than it's worth. Sigilyph is a Psychic and Flying type Pokemon that is also incapable of evolving, but unlike Maractus, this Pokemon actually bucks the unevolved trend of being kinda terrible thanks to its fantastic typing, some solid stats, and a pretty decent learn set, although its 5 weaknesses can mean it finds itself in trouble often. Thankfully, it's got great special attack, good defenses, and a good speed stat as well. All factors that make it a threat in nearly every fight, and the fact that you can catch it strong right out of the gate is appealing. Although you're going to be relying almost exclusively on Psybeam and Air Cutter to do any of your damage until level 41, there's still pretty good moves to rely on, and having Light Screen and Reflect in your back pocket to lay down at any time in battle is a huge boon, as oftentimes most Pokemon can only learn one or the other. One last underrated fact about this Pokemon is its crazy range of access to TMs, allowing for even more diversity in its move composition. So, as is always the case whenever we get into one of these routes, the first thing we want to do is battle the doctor here, because this is a place, a little base of operations for us to go back and heal repeatedly as we make our way through the route. He's only got one Pokemon, which is the Solosis. Not a super slouch of a Pokemon or anything, so there is that to keep in mind. But yeah, this really shouldn't be too much of a problem. And sorry about that cut. Let's continue. So I'm just going to leave Tornado this thing. Now, we are going to be running into slightly tougher trainers than what we dealt with in Route 4, but it's not enough that you really should have anything to worry about, honestly. I think we should be more than okay. Buffeted by the Sandstorm. Let's use a Tackle. Snatch! Waits for a target to make a move. Well, you're not going to be taking any status moves from me. Sorry. Now get out of here. If I used Growth, Snatch would have applied the Growth to Solosis as opposed to myself. But now he's going to make me healthy, and then we can continue. Okay, now, before we fight any more trainers, it is time. Arthur is at level 28, which is more than good enough for the time being, tied up there with Marty. We're going to be grabbing a new Pokemon in here. I know I left you guys in the dark as to which area we're going to be getting it in, but we're getting it in the Desert Resort. Please bear with me. It's going to take some time to get this right, but I will cut back to you when I have found the perfect Pokemon. And like right off of the bat, I actually found it. Literally the first encounter. It's even the gender that I wanted for the nickname that I have in mind. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to actually start this off by throwing a quick ball at it. Don't know if it's actually going to work, but we're going to try. Now, I do want to clarify that I am not necessarily going to keep this one. I'm going to have to look at its nature before I am 100% willing to do that. But if it is a bad nature, I will just continue to catch more Sigilyph until I get the one I want. If not, then we can just continue from here. So, an avianoid Pokemon, the guardians of an ancient city, they use their psychic power to attack enemies that invade their territory. Do we want to give a nickname to it? Yes, I do. I am going to be naming this thing Naz. Why? Well, because the Sigilyph is based off of the bird symbol from the very famous Peruvian Nazca lines. They were essentially these giant glyphs that were drawn out in the sand that can still be seen from space. They represent many different kinds of animals, and the bird is one of the most famous ones and what Sigilyph is largely based off of. One of the nice actual American references, although it's, more Mesoamerican, but still American references nonetheless, that you get here in Generation 5. Now, let's take a look at this thing's stats, see if it's any good. It's got a gentle nature, which is not ideal. I don't like the fact that it lowers the physical defense. That's actually going to be really painful for Sigilyph, so I am probably going to continue to work on trying to catch a Sigilyph until I actually get the one I want with a decent nature. If it lowers attack, I'm okay with that. If it even lowers special defense, I'm okay with that. Just not physical defense. I don't need to make it any more of a glass cannon than it would already be. So I will be back soon. And 45 minutes later of trying to get a Sigilyph and catching all of 4 more, and every single one of them had a neutral nature. I'm just going to stick with this. See my bashful nature, Sigilyph. Attack, defense and special defense are on the same page. Special attack and speed are its best stats. It's got Psybeam, which is really good. Everything else leaves a lot to be desired, but that will all be changed and improved in due time. Let's put Naz at the front of the party, and I'm actually going to be giving Naz my scope lens so that he can dish out the damage. I don't really think I need to give him an experience share because he's not too far behind that it's going to cause me really any problems. But yeah, let's give that to him, and then we can get going through this route and taking down a bunch more trainers. Also, Bulbapedia, you are full of crap that this game is, or that this area, has frickin' Sandile more than anything. They say, 40% encounter rate for Sandile, 30% for Darumaka. That is bullcrap. I have frickin' footage that proves that Darumaka is 90% of all you encounter in this area. What the crap was that about, guys? Oh, that was so annoying. I knew Sigilyph was one of the rare ones to find in here, but my gosh, I didn't think I was going to only find Darumaka otherwise. In fact, I think I found Maractus as often as I found Sandile. I just couldn't stop running into those little fiery chicken nuggets. Anyway, I'm just going to be using Psybeam pretty much for the most part because it's absolutely his best move, but Naz is going to get some really good moves otherwise in due time. The ideal moveset for Naz, honestly, and you'll see this as we go, is a Psychic move, a Flying type move, and then Sigilyph is one of the few Pokemon that is capable of learning both Light Screen and Reflect, which is extremely nice for an already super defensive Pokemon. Something to put walls up just in case, Naz isn't able to handle it, or there's something that's like that he's weak to, like dark types, ghost types, rock types, and electric types, and ice types. Yeah, lots of weaknesses there, but that's okay because Sigilyph has, like I said, pretty darn good defenses. All those moves at his disposal, and then of course the amazing dual typing. Also, I need to put a repel back on if we're going to go any further through this place because there's a lot of Pokemon out here and a lot of deep sand, not to mention I need to pull my dowsing machine back out so we can start tracking down items. Now, we're not going to be getting through this entire place in this episode. We've only got a few minutes left in this one in case that wasn't already immediately obvious, but we'll at least get a few more trainer battles in before I call it here. So, Watchog, interesting. Now, Tailwind is not a super bad move, but it's not extremely necessary for the team that I'm going for because... Well, Generation 5 is absolutely packed with slower Pokemon. The team that I am constructing here is much faster than most of the options you can get in this game. So, I mean, Naz is a great example of that. I've picked the fastest of the starters. Some of my other future Pokemon are going to be on the faster side. Well, I'm going to have a couple slow ones, don't you worry, but not like Masharna slow or Reuniclus slow. I'm not going to be going with any Pokemon that are that horrifically slow, so don't you worry about that. I mean, I guess I can just use Psywave here, even though I might get hurt. I did not. It avoided the attack, of course. And now I have to take the brunt of a Super Fang. Thank you. At least the Sandstorm will finish her off. Super Fang always does half of the damage. We already talked about this earlier when we fought Watchog earlier. There's the move I was waiting for. So yeah, as soon as you get to level 21, you get a really nice flying move. We're going to get a Whirlwind for that one, because I have absolutely no reason for that. Air Cutter has a base power of 55 and accuracy of 95, but an increased chance at critical hits, which is going to pair very nicely with the Scope Lens. So now let me go back to healing again. Just go back to using more Super Potions, and then I can pull the Dowsing Machine out, and we can continue. Oh, all right. We're gonna be doing this a little bit with Naz, just because obviously he has some catching up to do, but he'll eventually get there. There's the Black Glasses. That is the Dark type equivalent to Miracle Seed, Soft Sand, etc., etc. You get the picture. Also, that's the other problem, is that Naz is only level 21, and you can find Pokemon as high as level 20. I think it's just 22 as far as wild Pokemon are concerned, but there are a couple that can spawn at that level, so it's not the best. First person to come out here and talk to me. I'm so moved, I'll give you this. And we get a Soft Sand. There's the other one. I literally just talked about that. That is the ground type equivalent of all those moves. Now, as we continue to head further up, I do want to get myself into more battles here because I would very much like to get Sigilyph some more experience. There is a rare candy out here as well, although that is definitely something I'm going to want to hold on to. What are these? Appears to be the statue of a Pokemon. Very interesting. So we have this building here, which, or I guess at least what's left of one. I would like to go down into it, but I have to wonder that maybe we should be going down there a little bit later on. So I think we'll save that for the next episode. Let's just continue to prowl around out here, grabbing more items, and again, seeing if I can't find more trainers. Got an Ether. There is a lot more, I promise. Grab this one as well, and I think that's a trainer right down to the bottom right. We'll take you on next. Hello, miss. Hello, ma'am. Whether I travel or not, I want to make a great discovery. Okay, well, maybe, I mean, if you looked just up to your immediate upper left a little bit, you will notice that there are some ruins there. Might be a good place to start. I don't know. We're going to be delving into there a little bit later ourselves, after I take care of the remaining trainers on this route, of course. But, yeah. Let's just put that Air Cutter to work, and this should be more than enough to get a one-shot. Oh, never mind. Maractus actually does have pretty okay base stats. That is the thing about all Pokemon that don't evolve, and I kind of mentioned this with Throw and Sock already, but I'll just kind of reiterate. Pokemon that don't evolve, very, very, very good in the earlier stages of the game, because they in the earlier stages of the game, most Pokemon you're going to be encountering and using are going to be unevolved, waiting to evolve. So ones that don't have an evolution are usually at a higher base stat level than those Pokemon. However, they are also usually not up to snuff with Pokemon that are at the end of an evolutionary line. Those Pokemon are almost always stronger than the ones that don't evolve. So once you start hitting like the Elite Four in the end game, that's when they sort of fall behind. Sigilyph is one of the very, very few Pokemon that doesn't have to worry about that as much. Purely because of its typing. That is like the main reason. And also, you know, it does have very solid base stats where it matters. I mean, the fact that its defenses are fine, they're good across the board, and then it has above average speed and above average special attack is really all you need. I mean, nothing is super exceptional in Sigilyph, but it's a very good jack of all trades. I'm going to use Psywave here just because I can. And because it doesn't have a set damage, nor is it resisted by other psychic types, because that's not how Psywave damage is calculated. All right, I'm going to throw on one more Repel. We're going to go do one more battle here, and then I think we'll call this an episode. Some of these episodes are starting to fluctuate. I know, bear with me. The time is just kind of all over the place. I'm still trying to keep these under 20 minutes for the most part, but it's more about what we actually get done in each episode as opposed to any other factors. That's what I've been trying to use to determine these episode lengths as I've been going. And then, again, keeping it in that 15 to 20 minute window. So another Psychic here. This guy's going to be throwing out a new Pokemon that we haven't yet seen before called Yamask. We're going to learn a little bit more about Yamask in the next episode because there is actually an area we're going to be going into where you can start to encounter these guys. But for now, just know that he is incredibly beefy, has very, very good defenses, and that's pretty much it. Also very slow. That Hex is going to hurt. Oh, yeah, and he's a Ghost type, so that's also a problem. I'm going to try a Psywave here. Maybe this will do a little bit of damage. Psywave is super hit or miss, and of course, it's also not the most accurate thing in the world. And that is going to put Naz really close to getting knocked out. I'm just going to not chance it. We're just going to Psybeam you. 1 HP to end this episode off on. Thank goodness that you don't have any more Pokemon, so that the Sandstorm doesn't take him out. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Pokemon White. I hope you... Well, he's down anyway. I'm going to go heal. That's going to be it for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much, and I'll see you all in the next one.